and we're waiting for a few other platforms to join us today. I'm Deb Sheppard.
There you are.
There I am. Is that on Facebook? So we're on. Thank you guys for being here. First time followers, watchers, scary people, or those that have been here for a while. I'm going to say some shout outs and hello. Today's topic is going to be about what do you do with your loved one's stuff after they crossed over. So we're going to just hit a few topics because that's going to be our podcast that's going to be aired here soon. So we just want to kind of give you some tips because that does come up quite often. There's actually sometimes even battles with families about what to do with your loved one's stuff. Or, there's so much of it. What do you do with that? I also want to say hello to a post-Valentine Day for those. So I'm wearing the color red to send out a ton of love to everybody.
I thought it was all about your root chakra.
Nope, it was about love. Love is in the air. So, don't ask me to sing. So, any shout outs out there? Anyone we want to say hi to?
People are joining. So we'll just give them a few minutes. We've got some students joining, which is always fun.
Absolutely.
Lisa down in Texas. Deb Volk up in, I think she's northern Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
We've got Amanda from Monterey Bay, one of our favorite places. Keith on YouTube saying hello.
Keith has joined us the last several times. Thank you, Keith. He's from New York, right? Or East Coast?
I can't remember. Maybe you can type that in. And then on Instagram, we've got Bailey_pants from Toronto.
Bailey Pants.
These Instagram handles are funny sometimes.
What's that book about? The pants that go around? Tell the girls.
Oh, the traveling pants.
The traveling pants. Is that what you named your handle from?
Let's see. We've got... Yeah, thanks everybody for joining. We got Shannon on Insta. Hey, Shannon.
Hey, Shannon.
You know Shannon. And Elizabeth is on Instagram as well. So everybody say, hey, Elizabeth. Alicia from snowy Arvada.
Yeah, it is snowy out here in Colorado.
We've got Margot from New Mexico.
New Mexico.
Yep.
New Mexico's in the house.
Melissa from Larkspur. Ann Rogers. Oh, I said her. She's on YouTube. Snowy Lakewood. Or maybe not. Maybe I didn't say that one. Shell from up in Morrison. Lynn up in Maine. So yes, welcome everybody.
Thank you. Yeah. Behind the camera, if this is your first time, it's Dana. And she is managing all these platforms.
I'm trying.
Give me some direction. Elizabeth, you'll hear us talk about her. She is our producer for Grieving to Believing, which is on a YouTube channel of me doing readings for parents who've lost children. But she's also here to help us and bring someone on, because we're going to bring someone on to join us today for a reading. Of course, most people here are on for readings, or a lot of people. So I will be doing readings, but I am going to go over the topic as well. And I just want to make a reminder that if someone is reaching out impersonating me, please do not give them money. Reach out to us, because we do not do that. We do not reach out and try to tell you how wonderful you are. You are wonderful, but we're not trying to get your money that way. The topic that we're talking about is, what do we do with loved ones' items?
Let's actually real quick, let's have people share. If you're here for a reading, let's have you share the first name of your loved one that you want to connect with and what their relationship is to you. So, for example, my mom, Lori, or whatever the case is. And then if it's a child's generation, so your children, niece, nephew, that generation, Deb always asks for their age, because that helps you connect quicker, since it's a party in your head.
Yeah, and it's just this really quick session. And if you are getting a reading, please sit still, move it around, pay attention, respond, be a good guest.
Fix your hair now, get ready if you want a reading.
Yeah. And if you've never seen me before, I use all my different clairs, they call them, to be able to connect. And it's a little language that I built that I'm able to give you a quick message here when we're on live. So when you have an hour reading, of course, there's many more details that the people come through. And you get to ask a lot of questions, which is always nice.
Yes, if you're on Instagram and you want a reading, please share your first name and the first name of your loved one, since the Instagram handles, we don't always know those. And then also what their relationship is to you. So just a little reminder for that too.
Okay. That it?
That's it.
Okay. Make sure Dana gets all of her parts in. Right? Okay. So going back to anyone that's on here that's asking for a reading, most likely you've had a loved one that's passed that you're missing. You feel, like what would they want? They didn't describe maybe some of the things that were of value that you think, would they want me to keep them? Do I dispose of them? Do I, loan them, give them to other people? The biggest thing is knowing that you don't have to make a decision after someone dies. There's no time frame. For a lot of people who have lost children or someone that is just so close, you may keep items for 20 years or longer. That's okay. Do not let anyone tell you differently. There's a lot of pressure about how you should grieve and how it should look. And I want to just take that away and just say, whatever your process is your process. For a lot of us, having some of those personal items gives us a connection to our loved one because they're no longer physically here. So even if you believe that they are around us, they see what's happening, they are okay, we keep those items in effort to just feel that connection. Maybe it's their smell, maybe one of their favorite shirts, maybe they wore a team shirt that, on Sundays they'd wear, cheering on their team. Whatever it is, those are the things that are maybe valuable to you. If you have children, what I'm finding these days, when it's items like furniture, kids are not wanting grandma's ottomans, china hutch. It's just not something that's passed down anymore. In my generation and before, those things were very valued. And so you did pass them down and you did keep them and you did treasure them. So if you have grandmother's china and you're like, I'm never going to use it, we don't do the sit down stuff, feel free to donate, to, give to someone that really is in need or that would appreciate this. One of the things that I think is really great is to repurpose an item. We have an item that was my in-laws, this long, what would you call it? Kind of a sideboard, they would call it. And my mother would put dishes in it, they'd put food on top of it, or they'd put some decorations, whatever. And I took it, even though there wasn't great financial value. And then Dana was nice enough to repurpose it. And now we have it in our living room, and we put the kids' toys in there. We put, maybe blankets or other items in there as storage. So it's a connection that we can use that it's valuable to me because there's a lot of memories. Again, it's being used for another reason. It's updated and it blends in, and people will go, oh, was that your great grandmother's or whatever? So again, it's finding those items that we can reuse. One of the other things that Dana and I did, my father-in-law was a retired 2-star general, so he had more awards and certificates. I mean, they were all in his house from floor to ceiling, including his garage. And instead of keeping them and hanging them, we took photos of them, and we're going to put them in some sort of an album, maybe a online album versus even a physical album. I'm not sure about that yet, so that we can pass it on and say, hey, these were your grandfathers, versus passing on all these plaques that really take up a lot of space. And for a lot of us, we don't either have room or, is it taking up that energy? Mm-hmm. When I started doing this work, before I knew I could be a medium and a psychic, where I was, I studied feng shui. And feng shui is all about energy and things and placement and things like that. So in my opinion, we don't want to make a shrine when it comes to a room that has all these items of an ancestor. However, there's nothing wrong that if you keep a room that had your child stuff in it, or that you want to keep more preserved, that's totally up to you. There's no wrong or right. But don't feel like you have to do it in order to make any connection. One of the other big things that I want to talk about is a lot of times there's a home to sell or a car to sell, those kind of things. And people are feeling, well, that's my last connection. I have all these great memories. Just know that your loved ones are going to follow you, haunt you, stay with you. They're not going to stay in that place that you remember, that they will move on. And the other thing we're going to be talking about in this podcast is divisions that comes in families when it comes to these personal items. And it's amazing how many readings I've done, including all my personal experiences, where it seems like people just lose their mind when it comes to stuff from our loved ones when they cross over, and the timing of rushing in and trying to get the stuff. before even a celebration of life or whatever, there's just all these things that are going on. So I want to kind of tap into that a little bit more for the podcast, but also talk about in that podcast what the other side thinks about all their stuff and what you're doing, because that's what people really want to know. They want to know without a doubt, am I doing the right thing? So we're going to be talking about that in the podcast, which is called Spirited Straight Talk. If you have not heard about my podcast, please join. Dana's there talking as well. She's always cheering me on and bringing
I'm
in
your sidekick.
She's my sidekick. She brings in, of course, just additional information. So if you're in that place, or you want to look back with, did I do the right thing? Or that someone's passing is coming up and you want to be prepared and maybe ask questions of that level before they cross over. This would be a great podcast to be able to really get your mind in that place to be able to figure out what to do that feels right. Because it really is a little overwhelming. Because not only do you have that grief, you have all this stuff that has all this different energy around it.
Mm-hmm. Couple of comments. Margot was sharing, Vincent, my dad, recently passed away. And his daughter, Julie, and her, I think we've kept his room as it is and not sure when we want to go through things. It's nice to smell his smell in the room and feel close to them.
Absolutely. And to me, if that room is providing a sanctuary for healing and grief, keep it. It's no one's business. Don't let anyone tell you what you should be doing. And that's the big word, should. If someone is saying, well, you should be doing this or you should be doing that, absolutely not. Unless there's maybe they're giving you advice because of, where you are, maybe there's some help needed. But again, do not follow other people's rules. Trust your heart and your gut.
Marcy's on with us. She's saying the psychic and the sidekick.
Yeah. Hi, Marcy. And I think about too, we have a big house with lots of stuff. Mm-hmm. And when you and I moved in together, we had to get rid of so many things. And to me, putting that burden on someone that, you love to say, oh, I'm not going to do anything. Now, also, if you feel like, your time is around the corner, or you just, maybe not that, maybe there's a time where you're like, I have a lot of stuff. If something happened, there's a lot of stuff for people to go through. Mm-hmm. So feng shui, energy, all that's connected, go through your own things. Make that decision. Get rid of stuff that no longer serves you.
Just don't keep dead flowers all over your house.
Yeah, we were talking to one of our team members, and she was, I know, get rid of the dead flowers. I go, yeah. There's no life in them, so get rid of that stuff. We don't
Can
need
you put them in a box and save them? Versus
why?
Having them around your house?
Why do you want to stuff them in a closet?
Because I know that's going to be the next question.
No. Why? Why? Get more flowers in memory of them. Get silk flowers. Yeah.
Alicia says, I saw a great idea of taking clothing and creating ornaments to give out at the holidays.
Oh, I haven't heard of that one. I do really love that. That's great. Yeah. I've seen bears, quilts, pillows, shirts. Mm-hmm. Someone even took all of her dad's ties and made a skirt, which I thought was really cool.
Oh, yeah.
Her dad wore tons. He had like 50 ties, and she goes, I got to do something with these. And she just didn't want to. And of course, when you look at ties, I think the only thing that really changes for men's attire sometimes is the width of their tie and the width of their, lapel, their collars. So if you can do something that's fun, absolutely.
Somebody is saying that you keep freezing, so hopefully it's. Let us know if that still is happening for everyone, or if it's maybe her internet.
Well, it's online cool sculpting.
So
when you freeze, it's like
let me resolve that in my head.
I'm losing weight as I'm on live. So that's what it is.
Oh, jeez. We have somebody on Instagram, Abracadabble. Oh, that's kind of fun.
I love the magic, yeah.
She says, I'm late, but did Deb address the aliens yet? I'm not sure what aliens we're addressing, but I know I'm reading that question just because I know you have things about aliens. Like, are they real? Are they not?
Why wouldn't they be?
Are they here right now?
Well, they're not in our room right here, I don't think, but
they've been in your house.
Yeah, I do believe it. Bottom line, whether you've seen an alien or not, or believe in them or not, I just can't fathom that we're the only soul species in all the galaxies. I mean, if you look at James Webb telescope, that is going beyond that we've ever thought. there is absolutely no way that we are the only source of life, in my opinion. My father-in-law, 2-star general, as I talked about, Jack Sheppard, he totally believed in them because I asked him, and a lot of the other pilots that he flew with or knew or worked with, he said, "Oh yeah, they saw them." He goes, "Absolutely." And if you look back at ancient times, we look at the pyramids or we look at the Mayans and the Aztecs. There's absolutely looking at what they drew and how those things were done. I do believe that, and I think too. I mean, I believe I've been able to connect with them on some level here. But yeah, we're just someone's laughing and making a joke.
No, they're laughing at me. She said I meant all the recent weather balloons. What does the government know?
Oh, well, my father-in-law worked for the government, and of course he's a federal employee because he worked for the military. He actually ran the base in New Mexico, which we know has a ton of this ideas of alien energy. I mean, you can drive in New Mexico and they'll have a picture of a ship trying to, bring up a cow. I mean, I think it's hysterical. But yeah, he says, yes, there is things and things are hidden. But I think eventually, the government probably will release things as long as, there's not that conspiracy theory about stuff. But
well, don't we know the weather balloons are China trying to spy on us or something? Or
yeah, but someone was saying that they're 1970 technology, so we shouldn't be too afraid.
Yeah, well, who knows? Maybe they're trying to trick us. We never know.
I mean, what is there to see about us that they haven't already seen? I mean, the Americans are not too mysterious, in my opinion.
So somebody has a unique question. Do we go to the same quote unquote heaven as the aliens?
Why not? I mean, they're probably more fun than some of your relatives. So yeah, wouldn't you want to hang out with some of the alien ones? To go back to that question to Lily, I don't see a heaven and hell like a lot of people believe. I don't feel like there's a purgatory, hell, a burning of fire. And when we look at heaven, I think it's another dimension. So when people think about heaven being this spiritual place of paradise or whatever that may look like for your belief system, I think it's an energy vibration. So if we think about connecting with an energy, going to the veil, where are the aliens and where is our soul and spirit? We can meet with people and think, wow, they are a low vibration, or they're vampires. They suck the life out of you. Is that considered a vibration versus someone that is highly spiritual? I mean, the Dalai Lama, someone like that you would think was extremely spiritual and their energy is heightened. What does that feel like versus being someone that would be a low energy? So to me, it's just not heaven or hell.
Mm-hmm. Elizabeth is clarifying. She says everyone thinks the balloons shot down were from aliens, or I don't know. I'm just reading that and going.
I think it's from China.
Yeah.
Doesn't all of our stuff in America come from China? I mean, bottom line, why shouldn't balloons in the air be the same exact? Turn over your coffee cup, made in China. Okay, so I've got people who are laughing at me. It's the alien. I mean, I would love to have a coffee cup that says "made by the aliens." I mean, that would be valuable. That'd be worth something. Just saying.
We can make one. Hey, so
I like to take out the there's all these conspiracy ideas of, especially with what I do. There's people think it's, they use the word weird or they're evil or there's, all these things.
Right.
And bottom line, I live pretty much a normal life. It's just being able to tap into different types of energy. So if you look at someone that has the brain of a mathematician, the way their brain works and the way they're processing, they're tapping into a vibration or energy that has that information. It's that muse. When you have someone that connects with music, you think about how they connect with the music. It's a different energy vibration. Mm-hmm. So when we don't always educate ourselves or understand it, or it's something new, we go into, oh my God, it's really scary. Versus you're probably connecting with a lot of this energy at different times anyway.
Right. Well, and one of the things you always share is that made in China.
I'm sorry. I mean, I guess I just go into.
I went back to that.
You go into this balloon that we're shooting down, whatever the everyone, both sides of the aisle talking about, and I'm like, what are they picking up? I mean, right now, as we know, there's so many, what do they call, apps on your phone that people can get data and information. I mean, we have a balloon that's picking up information. It doesn't really scare me because I have nothing to hide. People don't want, I don't want to say it too loud because I have a women's office, an Alexa. She knows information. Well, of course, I can say something and all of a sudden it comes up on my phone within 24 hours. If you don't think they've already been listening to us for a very long time, but there's really nothing exciting about me. What are they going to find out? Though I like to watch TikTok and what shows I watch and what I like to eat, I'm pretty much...
You're boring.
I'm
no,
boring.
Just kidding.
No, I am. So when people get all paranoid
side.
with that, I'm thinking to myself, well, what are they going to kind of find out?
Okay, so
maybe
a couple of good questions coming through, but also
I just got off on a tangent. I'm sorry.
It's made in China. So we need Jennifer Lyons. Jennifer Lyons wants to connect with her best friend Danielle. We need Jennifer, you to send an email really fast to Elizabeth@debsheppard.com.
Please pay attention. Don't be walking around.
Sorry. So if you want to come on screen with Deb, we're going to get you on screen with Deb for you to have a little mini reading. And I just put Elizabeth's email address in the feed. So Elizabeth@debsheppard.com. I also need Kate. I think that is going to be on Instagram. Kate73. Oh, not Jennifer Lyons, Jennifer Nolan. Jennifer Nolan, friend Danielle. Email Elizabeth@debsheppard.com. And you'll be on camera live with Deb. So make sure you're going to be okay being on camera live when you submit your information here. And then Kate73. And she wants to connect with her ex-hubby, Denny. And we'll do a few more readings as well. But those two, email Elizabeth@debsheppard.com. And Shannon, no, Deb is not really doing cool sculpting. She's talking about freezing on camera. It was a total dad joke, just saying. Total dad joke.
And I now know from that comment about the balloon, I probably would never get to be an anchor on a news station.
It's because you'll blurt out stuff. Just kidding.
It won't be like the morning.
So authentic.
It won't be like the morning show with who's the people in the morning show? Reese Witherspoon and Jennifer Aniston. Yeah, it won't be one of those.
She said she did get the joke.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay. Let's see here. And we do have some questions. We will pick some questions as well.
Yeah, I love doing the questions.
If you have random questions,
love random. I was not made in China, but
you could. Who knows? Anyway, inappropriate.
Maybe in a past lifetime.
Okay. So Gigi says, I'm trying to trust the universe and recognize the signs they put out for me, but I often feel indifferent because I want to trust, but it's not what I would normally do. Any advice on how to trust the signs from the universe?
Yeah, this is more than just, I teach whole programs on this exact topic. And the thing is with this is when you're going through life and things aren't working the way you want, doing something different is what the universe might be saying. Like, you know what? Doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results, as we know that saying, doesn't change our life. Usually your guides, if you're getting messages from the universe, it will not be anything that's risky in the beginning if you're learning to have that trust. So it's going to be those small steps of trying something that's going to allow you to begin to build trust, like with any relationship. So if they're asking you to do something different or you're getting signs to do something different and it's not quit your job, get a divorce, sell your house, whatever those major things, then taking those small steps, follow, because there's really nothing to lose other than opening yourself up to new opportunities.
And to start to build trust.
Build trust, yeah. I probably don't have time to tell my breadcrumb story, but there's a story where I kept getting the guidance to get the breadcrumbs and I ignored it and got home and was laughing because there was the breadcrumbs. When I opened up the cabinet, there was worms in the breadcrumbs. And it really made me understand that your guides are there to help make life more simplistic. And they're going to give you simple ways to start to trust them versus the big ones. So if you have a question regarding what they're kind of nudging you to do, then please post that too, and we'll see if we can answer that.
All right, so let's do a mini reading.
That was a mini reading.
It was. for Paige, who wants to connect with her dad, Russ. She's on YouTube. Thanks for joining us on YouTube, too.
Okay. The Paige, first thing I kind of feel with this is this conflict. And this could mean that you and your dad had a conflict, or there's been a conflict after his passing. I will just tell you that after they cross over, they don't carry that, or they're not concerned if there's that going on. Your dad feels very much at peace, but I'm also getting here, like I keep getting health concerns or something about his passing. I also feel too young, and if you're telling me he was 70 or something, I'm gonna, like slap you. But that's not old. But I feel as if he could have had a longer life too. He's showing you. I'm getting a heart, which sounds very simplistic, but I feel like it's to let you know that he does love you or that he is proud of you. So this might be a relationship that you felt like, does that think I'm doing okay? Does he think I'm, doing the right thing, or did he really love me? And I feel like that's really generic, but I feel like that's the simplistic of it. He's also, we're talking about stuff. I'm also feeling like, don't worry about the stuff. And I think it's maybe things that were wrapped around your relationship or his passing. So let me know if that makes any sense, or you have a direct question, because he just feels relieved, but I'm just getting this anxiousness or this feeling of both of you maybe didn't have what you needed to have that bond or relationship as well.
Yeah, share validations, because that's always helpful for Deb and for others to hear validations when you receive a reading. And Margot has a question.
Sure.
Why have I had other signs and seen and felt spirits I don't know, but I don't feel anything with my newly passed father, who I was so close to? I don't understand.
So Margot, first of all, it might be letting you know that you're more of a medium. So remember, I'm sitting here on screen getting connections from everybody that I'm not connected with. So you may be getting messages to help you develop your intuition. Because you had a close relationship with your dad, what I'm getting is you're trying to control getting it versus allowing it. And so if you already had a close relationship and you have a belief system that there is an afterlife and you do get messages, I feel that this is more that you're wanting, I want my dad to do this. And I can hear you telling me like, no, I just want to know he's okay in science, but you already know that. So I feel like that surrender into trust, that if you're getting signs from other people, you already know that he's okay. You already know. So if you're trying to control how it shows up and how he comes through, then try to shift that energy. And I bet you anything I'm getting he might come through in a dream, because that way you'll have less, because you won't be controlling it. And it doesn't mean you're a controlling person. You're just like, I want to see a sign. I want to know my dad's okay. I want to know. And that's challenging your belief system a little bit versus just allowing it to happen.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And sorry about your dad.
Yeah. We have more questions, but Jennifer is with us. Give me a thumbs up, Jennifer. Are you good in one place? Okay. All right. I was going for a ride for a second. I'm like, ooh.
Yeah. So the ones that when you guys come on, sometimes really focus, really pay attention, because you're going to miss those little things. And I think it's a great opportunity for you to have to be here.
Okay. Here's Jennifer. She's on with you.
Hi, Jennifer.
Hello. Hi there.
Hi. I'm sorry about your girlfriend.
Thank you. Yeah, it was definitely unexpected. It was last year.
Don't Jennifer, don't tell me, don't feel
Yep.
That's my job. That's my job. But thank you for sharing.
Say no more.
What is your friend's name?
Her name's Danielle.
Okay. First thing I get is just a sweet, sweet soul. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But also I'm getting a little fire in her belly. Like she may show up really sweet and kind, but don't cross her.
For sure. Yeah.
So there's a sense of like, she's calculating like, okay, don't you do this to me, because I'm going to keep, and not that she was, going to be, paying it back and pushing people back. But I just feel kindness was important. Loyalty was important. And that's where she showed up. Also, why is she dancing?
Oh, Probably because she loved dancing.
Okay,
She's
so
big
that,
into singing and dancing. Yeah.
okay, because I'm just getting this great dance kind of fluid, letting you know
Oh,
that this is her, especially if we feel that, because she feels young, you feel young, so I'm assuming this was a young soul, and
yeah.
and like you said, that feels unexpected. Um, I She's not telling me yet how she passed, but just that unexpected. I think it's to let you know that she is okay. And did you get the tattoo in honor of her?
I have not. No.
Who got the tattoo?
But a lot of people did. Her
Okay,
siblings did. I know her
okay.
siblings did, and I believe her mother did.
Because I really get that this girl made an impact. Was this an accident?
Um, I don't want to say it was an accident. Can I say how she passed?
Just a second. Okay, if it's not an accident, are people doing things, not just the tattoo, but in memory of her?
Not that I know of. I don't know if other than tattoos, I don't know if anybody's doing anything else.
Was this suicide?
So it wasn't suicide. So I guess when you say it was accident, it wasn't in her control. It wasn't something yeah. So I guess it was an accident because she didn't intentionally
Okay, so
try to harm.
someone did this to her, it happened to her.
It happened to her. Nobody
Okay,
did
because I
anything to
kept
her.
getting,
Yes, sorry.
that's okay, it's okay, you're totally fine. Because when you drive on the road and you see where there's been a car accident, and there's a sign,
Right.
that's what I was seeing. So I kept seeing this was an accident for her to go to me at first. She's also feeling not alone from her passing. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
And she's also saying, "What the f?" So I'm getting her that at her passing, she would have used those words like, "I cannot believe this is what happened."
Yep.
And is this also newsworthy?
No, not newsworthy. No.
Because I'm
But
seeing. Go ahead.
it is something her and I, when we were younger, when this would happen to us, we would text each other and go, oh my God, this is how I'm going to die. I know. And you don't hear people dying this way. And then this is how she died.
Okay, so to me, this is again just that conversation. Those things are going to be happening. My head really hurts. My back hurts. Does that make some sense too?
Um,
Oh yeah, I'm getting
kind of.
an impact. How did she die?
So she had the flu and she aspirated. She fell asleep in the bathroom and she aspirated.
Okay, so that's the accident of the breathing. Because so if her head is hurting, that would be like the flu symptoms,
Right.
Achy and pain like that. And that's why she's telling me what the F. That makes even more sense.
For sure. Definitely.
Okay, and the part of it being some accountability is when you have the flu, you don't think you need to go to the hospital. You don't feel like you have to do anything more. Like people have this and they survive. So I feel like she sort of pushed her body a little longer than she needed to.
I think so.
Like I should have called 911. I should have done something more on this. But definitely the dancer just I'm just getting this adorable face. And did you guys meet like in primary school?
Oh, way back. Yeah. Age 5.
Yeah, I'm getting like, yeah, you guys were like sisters from another mother.
Absolutely.
What do you want to ask her?
Oh gosh, oh my heart. I guess I just wanted to make sure she was okay. She has 3 little boys, so I
Oh
think
God,
that hurts my heart the most is she's got
absolutely.
3 young sons, all major mama boys. So
Do you have something in your rearview mirror that hangs?
I do not. No.
Is it hers?
She did. She had stuff. Yeah.
Because I feel like there's that dangling in the car that is like a memory or someone, just as validation as well. And she's also saying that you need to figure out how to get some sleep.
Oh, yeah. Yes, for sure. I feel like I could feel her strongly this last couple of months have been stressful. And I feel like because she has a better view of me now, as because I'm a mom of 3 as well, I
Wow.
talk to her a lot. I'm like, oh my God, how do we do this? What do we do? And something that was really interesting the other day, I'm in Colorado. So the weather was actually pretty nice on Monday, but you don't see very many birds right now still. It's still wintertime. And my daughter for preschool, she had to bring something that starts with the letter F. And of course, we're sitting there, and the first thing that comes to our mind is a feather, like
Right.
a feather. Well, we go on a walk with our dog. We haven't seen feathers in months. So I'm like, no way, we're not going to see a feather. And this thing blew, smacked me in the face, almost went in my mouth. And I look, I'm like, what was that? And my daughter thought it was a bee because it was yellow. And I look down on the ground, and it's this little baby feather. It's a yellow one. And I'm thinking, I don't even know if there's yellow birds in my neighborhood, but I mean, I was quick to pick it up, and I didn't surrender it to my daughter. Unfortunately, I had to keep it. I'm like, no, you have to bring something else to school because this is mine. But I don't know if it was a message from her or from whoever.
Absolutely. I got the chills, Jennifer. So absolutely. The color yellow represents trust.
But okay.
So I think that was definitely a sign. And Danielle is really a strong soul. I mean, right away, even her dancing and coming through and, this happening to her, the accident. She's also telling me that did she pass out and hit her head too?
I'm wondering if she did.
Because I keep getting the head and my back having an impact as well. And that's why I was a little bit confused. So not that we have to go into details, but I feel like that's what she was talking about. And probably since I wasn't coughing, if I was coughing, usually it's my sign for COVID. But Jennifer, I'm so sorry, but thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Just know that she is with you.
Okay. Thank you.
And she says your daughter is very stubborn.
Oh, yes, she is. And she's absolutely right. Awesome.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Thanks
so
for
much.
coming on.
Thank you.
So, you want to take a question?
Sure.
All right. Let's see here. There was one about signs. People like to get signs from their loved ones, right?
Yeah.
So Ruth is saying, driving home a different way, saw a restaurant I hadn't noticed called Esther's, which isn't a common name, but my grandmother's name, and made me think of her and my mom who passed over a year ago. Is this a sign? So I think people always question what the signs are, how it should look.
So, well, first of all, electronics, anything electronic is an easy go-to. Feathers, of course, anything with wings, since I have those in my back of my wall here. What happens in my programs, I tell people to try something new. So one of them would be drive a different way home or to work or to a place that you usually go, because you may see something you don't normally recognize. A friend of ours was driving just the other day and saw a turkey, which is not something we see in our neighborhood very often. I think I've seen one in 30 years here. So again, making a different place to go, looking at things differently, paying attention. Absolutely. Do I feel that every butterfly is a sign from your loved one? No. Do I feel that there's times where we get the chills? When Jennifer was talking about the yellow feather, I got the chills. And so that's letting me know, yeah, that's the energy. And dreams are a big thing for them to come through. If you're extremely close to that loved one, sometimes it's a little harder to really know the difference between, is it a sign or is it, your emotion? But they will make the effort to show you. The other thing, and Margot even said this, I have signs from other people I don't know, but not the ones that I'm close to. Pay attention to signs that are other than just your loved one, so you can build upon that muscle, so you can feel those signs. So if I was driving by and I go, Ruth, I just drove by this restaurant and I saw Esther's, we went to Esther's and made me think about you. That's also a message coming to you from someone, from your loved one, because it's just, you want to, I want to see it. Well, if you didn't go that way, someone's going to be that messenger for you. So they will find all their ways to get in touch with
to say hi.
Yeah. And don't ask them to be there constantly. I mean, if you want to know every single day, no, don't do that. No, you don't want to hear, from people here every single day. What you want to do is be able to enjoy those expectations, those experiences, and then, realize that they're going to show themselves when they can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I guess they have things to do.
Yeah. I wish they would come around and do things at our house. Like, they're around our house all the time. But we want to really thank you all for joining us once again on 11/11, and we love being here. Happy post Valentine's Day. I know sometimes it can be a hard day for people. I want everyone to remember that if you are in Colorado or you want to fly in, I do have a live event on Saturday that starts at 5 o'clock, I believe. The doors open around then.
Doors open at 4:30, starts at 5.
And I have a really great outfit that either it's going to look like Vegas, Elton John, something like that. But so you have to come just for that. And it's I do readings to the audience, and I love it. It's one of my favorite things to do. So please join us.
And Elizabeth just put the link for us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. So the link is in the comments. Thank you.
I think tickets are really inexpensive.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty
There's
entertaining.
a handful left, yeah.
I'm pretty entertaining, so just go
You're
with that.
really darn entertaining.
Dad jokes forever. I also look for our Spirited Straight Talk podcast. And just always remember that even though your loved ones are on the other side, they are still by your side. Thank you for joining.